day after what I think is probably the beginning of the Second American Civil War, we get Star Trek Discovery in the little series finale in what I think was probably the stupidest episode of the entire series so far. And that's saying something because there's been some real idiotic episodes at this point. But here's where we start getting, the little seeds dropped in all the time throughout the thing, all to lead to this one. And so much of the stuff was like this was only put in here for the excuse to put this scene in here. Not that it makes any bloody sense whatsoever freaking ever. They wanted to do this scene in the finale. And somehow it's like we get treated to, let's see, Adira's imaginary friend is suddenly being manifested in a hologram. And it's like, I don't care what kind of explanation Hulk Cobra came up with a few minutes later. It makes no freaking sense, okay? And, of course, the hologram is no longer, Trill, it's now Vulcan with blue hair. And, let's see. Somehow their holographic cells in there were still manifesting radiation burns. And it was just dumb. And, of course, back on Discovery. Let's see. They capture Michael Burnham and Booker. And Michael manages to make this impassioned plea to the Admiral. You can trust me. No, we can't trust you, Michael. That's been the point of this entire freaking series. Nobody can trust you. You deliberately disobeyed direct orders from that Admiral. Why should he trust you to open a freaking bottle of beer, for God's sakes? It's like the interrogation. It's like it's supposedly trying to force Booker to let go with the course to get into the planet. And yet, are there any questions? No, he's not even conscious. They just stick the thing on his head and make him scream. And I don't think Burnham knows how to get there because she wasn't piloting the way in. So it's idiotic all around. And the little thing with how I said this in the beginning, how detachable the attached nacelle is just connecting. All you do is disrupt the little thing with connecting the nacelle, and you have no warp. Well, guess what? They figured that out themselves in trying to retake the ship and prove why you don't do that. But we gotta have this scene in the finale, so we're gonna do this, hackneyed storyline. It's like, oh god. And they got on the whole thing of, they have a warp core, so and then of course Book takes forever to jump. And it turns out, no, you don't need tardigrade DNA after all. You just gotta be really empathic. That's been the catchphrase for the past couple years. Empathy. It's like, I don't think they even know what the hell that word means. Seriously. I think they saw it listed in the third, the empath. Yeah, empathy. Yeah, empath. Yeah, it's like, God. And of course, the return of the giant cavernous turbolith system, which reminds me more of the luggage system on DIA, which never really worked too well. And of course, it's like, how the hell does this fit inside even this big ship? No, it doesn't. Or are we supposed to assume that the turbo system is like, the TARDIS, it's another dimension? It's like, no. And a bunch of idiotic action scenes, which really don't make a whole lot of sense. Service droids that are now, sacrificing themselves. It's a service droid. Who cares? Okay? But you're saying in the end that... And I don't care that they've already started production on season 4. Cancel this thing and bury it. God. And of course, a final insult at the very end. After they finally got them in proper uniforms, and they've been back in contact with Starfleet for how long now? And now they finally got current uniforms? No, they would be put in current uniforms the second they got back. I was like, no, let's get rid of these marching band uniforms, get you up to date. They updated the ship. Why not the uniforms? They tack on a quote at the end from Roddenberry and end the credits with the original theme music over the end. Just kind of ultimately, this is Star Trek now, whether you like it or not. Bull! It's not real Star Trek any more than mine is because I got to fly by the ship on both ends. So, oh God. And of course, the direction. Constantly spinning and whirling the camera for no freaking reason whatsoever, except to maybe, make the scene more exciting than it really is. All it does is induce, vertigo in the audience. Who told this guy he could direct? Okay? That's what I want to know.
Like I said, it was one of the producers directing.
Yeah, it was, whatever, Orlando, what the hell. And I just, oh God. Discovery is the stupidest show on the air, okay? It thinks it's the most clever, and no, it is, because of that alone, it is the stupidest thing on the air. And it needs to be put out of our misery as soon as humanly possible, okay? And I don't know, I may be one of like that. No, I'm not even going to look at the next one, okay? If they ever finally put out, season 4, it's like, no, you're not even getting the attention from me anymore, okay? The train wreck is now complete. It is bombed out. It's idiotic trash, okay? Yeah, where the hell are they in this thing? That little big room? I think what all they did is redress head of Federation headquarters. Something we're somehow on the ship. Somehow, where is this room? Well, I've never seen this before. Oh, and the warp core is going to shoot it and bang it against the wall. Who the hell thought that was a good idea? That was God. Especially one that's rigged to blow up. That's a good way to blow yourself up trying to jump and just bang it against the shaft on the way out. These are supposed to be like explosive charges, and not just to drop it and watch it. No. And of course, Burnham was made captain at the very end. Of course she is, because she's the bestest ever.
Give me a damn break.
Just get this franchise away from Kurtzman and Secret Hideout. I think it'd be a very simple matter to separate out Lower Decks from the rest of it and keep that as... That's the only representation we have left of true Star Trek. Which is a sad commentary on Star Trek right now, because the only thing we got is a half-hour parody sitcoms. That's the only thing we can point to is, that takes place in the Star Trek universe. We could argue about how good or bad it is, but at least that's real Star Trek. The rest of it is utter crap. And it'll get blowback just for citing Lower Decks as proper Star Trek, but it's made by fans. People who know the material. The universe looks right, the ship is right. There's nothing. Even when they reference proper Star Trek, they can't do it right. Look at the guy with the next-gen uniform. Missing the rank pips. They originally had the wrong comm badge on there. They fixed that in post, but they didn't bother to put in a character that identifies Lieutenant Commander with Lieutenant Commander pips. There's no pips at all. The pips would have been easier to fix on the comm badge. And they got the wrong year. Off by about 10 years. These people are morons, okay? As far as Star Trek goes, stick to Gilmore Girls and stuff like that. Stick to the soap operas where the standards apparently aren't very high, Because even professional science fiction writers had trouble writing for Star Trek back in the day, okay? Because Star Trek is really a subgenre unto itself. So anyone who thought that they could come in and just write Star Trek and make it... No. You have failed utterly. And I'd be curious to see what the numbers would be when a Novos is now, finally rolling out Discovery uniforms. And okay, we'll see how they sell. Now, I would like to pick up a uniform or two from them, but not in this era. And I think the fact that a lot of the stuff is done by order. They generate interest lists. Say anybody really want one of these? God. I mean, the only mass market item out there for Discovery. I mean, yeah, there's niche little things like, Eagle Moss ships. Those are practically done, on demand. They don't put numbers, they put them out as they need them, as orders come in. The only thing that's out there is Saru Mego figures. That's it. No Michael Burnham, no Tilly, no, just Saru. And the Polar Lights models, not a great selection there. In fact, they've even gone to the pre-built, pre-painted one of Discovery. Well, I can't even be bothered to mess with the decals. Here, you're done. The Enterprise has been popular. They managed to pre-produce that in a larger size. But that's it, And for a franchise that used to be a marketing behemoth. Because, newsflash, Alex. Star Wars never been big in marketing. Did you miss the entire 90s? You could fill an entire wall of Toys R Us with Star Trek figures. And ships and props and something, In fact, Kurtzman, I suggest you check out a little series on Netflix, The Toys That Made Us. First episode is Star Trek toys. Learn about what you're doing, you moron. This is the franchise you're supposed to be in charge of.
Enough, Razor Fist.
Oh, I didn't start on Razor Fist levels. No.
You're getting close.
No, the profanity level is way down there, okay? Yeah, I can imagine Razor Fist going after this. But we'll wrap it up there on that, because it's like, how many different ways can you say these guys are idiots, You got a director who can't keep a camera straight to save his life. A story that would probably laughed out of a comic book, reading. I mean, the only one that came out, I think, was the fact that Doug Jones managed to spend most of the episode out of the Saru makeup. Everyone else, no, you're all screwed. And we're going to take the audience down with us. Yeah, well, not this one. Alright, so that being said, PayPal, Patreon, subscribe, star, like, share, subscribe, yada, yada, yada. Numbers are starting to pick back up. We're up to back into the 1290s. So I can get back above 1,300. I'll consider that a minor win for this year. And hopefully before the end of the month, we might be off for a while. We're waiting for the cable guy to hook everything up. But hopefully by that point, we'll be in a place. I can get a proper studio set up and take this, set up into the next level. Till then, talk at you later.